At this late hour here in the United Kingdom, I would like you to join me in offering this time together for the recent reports on our global news of the little children, little blonde, blue-eyed girls who've been taken from their natural families by Romani gypsies and sold in the sex trafficking industry. There have been 2 cases in Dublin recently, and we know in Greece, and I'm sure little Maddie McCann will be one of them. So please, will you remember the little ones that are being treated in such an appalling way? We begin our spiritual soiree this evening by lighting a candle for peace, for justice, for unity, but for the little ones, our little angels who don't know anything other than beauty. Let us think of them. Let us send them our love. I would like to begin, if I may, with a beautiful Welsh blessing. I found it in a lovely Celtic book, the Celtic Psaltery from Iona. And it's 9th century, and I would like, if I may, to read it to us this evening as we begin our time of coming together. Almighty Creator, it is you who have made the land and the sea. Even though the world cannot comprehend in song bright and melodious, even though the grass and trees should sing, all your wonders, O true Lord Supreme. The Father created the world by a miracle. It is difficult to express its measure. Letters cannot contain it. Letters cannot comprehend it. The cosmic Christ created for the hosts of Christendom was miracles when he came, resurrection through his nature. He who made the wonder of the world will save us, has saved us. It is not too great a toil to praise the Trinity. Clear and high in the perfect assembly, let us praise above the 9 grades of angels, the sublime and blessed Trinity. Purely, humbly, in skillful verse, I should love to give praise to the Trinity, according to the greatness of their power. God has required of the host in this world, who are his, that they should at times altogether fear the Trinity. The one who has power, wisdom and dominion above heaven, below heaven completely. It is not too great a toil to praise the Son of Mary. And that's an old Welsh 9th century blessing. How lovely is that? 9th century. So let us put that aside and welcome you to a time of coming together in love, a time of sharing. Let us be still. Let us be still as we relax and unwind after a busy day, or in the case of Sister Miriam in New Zealand, the beginning of her new day. So we give praise to Gaia, Mother Earth. We thank the angels of the animal kingdom, and we celebrate the gift of our pets, the gift of those little helpers. Let us give thanks now as we close our eyes and visualize that sacred garden in the eternal city, where all our animals are present, where all our little furry friends who've crossed over are there, happy with one another. And wouldn't it be a comforting thought that those of us gathered here were to have all our furry friends unite in their own animal soiree, singing the praises to the God Supreme, that we, their owners, are united in heart, in mind and in spirit on earth. What a lovely thought. Let us treasure that thought and let us relax now. Let us relax as we come back to this place, a place of healing, a place of sharing, a place where there is unconditional love. I'm going to play with you now, if I may, an amazing song by Tom McGuinness, I Knew You Would Come Home. Just allow yourself relax and enjoy the beautiful words to your heart. I have dreamt so long that we would meet again. I never doubted you, I knew you would return. The moment you would come to me through an open door, carrying all the love we've known. Oh, I trusted you, I loved you so, I hoped in you, I knew you would come home. And oh, I believed you were here. Sometimes my heart could see you. Oh, I believed in you, somehow could sense you near me. I have longed to say so many things to comfort you, to hold you safe and welcome in my arms, in the long and silent moments when the stars appear, to speak the love which keeps you from all harm, and gathers you and holds you still, guarding you from fear, while the loneliness and darkness disappear. Be still. Oh, I have called in my heart for you, searching this lonely time, wanting to tell you that even in darkness our love has flown. And oh, I believed you were here. Sometimes my heart could see you. Oh, I believed in you, somehow could sense you near me. I trusted you, I loved you so, I hoped in you, I knew you would come home. I trusted you, I knew you would come home. Praise you, God, known by many names. We are your children, and we come in your name. We praise you, O God. We praise you. Those words haunt me to this day. I trusted you. I knew you would come home. I have been playing that beautiful song for maybe 13 years now. And I had the privilege of meeting the young man who sings it. He's a Jesuit now in Glasgow. And he's got the most beautiful disposition. He embraces all faiths as a Jesuit. And he, like Papa Francis, sees within every child of God, regardless of their belief, the face of God. Let us focus on these words. I trusted you. I knew you would come home. What is that saying to you? What are those words really saying to your heart? I trusted you. I knew you would come home. You and I are so blessed. For you and I have seen the miraculous power of God's love in our life. We have seen prayers answered in many different ways. Maybe not the way we wanted, maybe not for the reasons we asked, but we have always seen and witnessed a loving God who desires only one thing, that we come home to love, that we surrender our hearts to love, divine love. And if ever there was a time in mankind's history when God needs willing helpers to raise the bar and bring love and justice, integrity, simplicity, beauty, it is now. Yes, we live in a beautiful world, but sadly many of God's children have chosen a different path, and many get embroiled through weakness and vulnerability because they lack the courage, the commitment of a disciplined prayer life. Let us take those words of our God to our heart. I trusted you. And that's what I love about God, that we are always forgiven. We are always given the benefit of the doubt. We are always afforded love. And the meditation I would love to share with you now is one that will probably make me cry. The prodigal son. Because I thought for years I was the prodigal son. And about 15 years ago I discovered I wasn't. I was the prodigal son's brother. Because I was envious of a dear friend of mine who had no faith, never bothered going to a church. And as soon as my friend who had the gift of miracles touched him, he went into a complete trance and was levitating, full of the Spirit of God. I looked on with envy. Forgive me. I was very inexperienced then. I used to go to church every day. I did all the devotions, the corporal punishment, and nothing happened to me. And I looked on my friend lying there levitating in the Spirit and then singing in tongues, and I was livid. Forgive me. Let us just focus on this short meditation. We are relaxed now. We are in the safety and the comfort of our home, our little monastery ashram without walls. And we are at peace now. And the more we breathe in, the more love of Gaia is released into us. And we are reminded that in our lifetime we may have done some crazy things. I know I have. We may have been uncharitable. We may have been judgmental and unforgiving. And the sin against charity for me is the worst sin. It meets with God's disapproval. But we see a situation before us. We see ourselves at a time in our life when we may not really have wanted God. We may have only wanted our own will and to do the things we wanted to do, disregarding the truth. We may have been a disobedient son or daughter, as I was. We may have rejected a lot of God's love, and we may have danced the slippery slope to perdition, and then we fall into the pit of self-glory, self-ego, self-adulation, with a huge ego. And then suddenly we realize that I am a child of God. Why do I struggle so like this, when all I have to do is to say I'm sorry and return into the company of my Father, Mother God, and surrender my heart. But my mind, my ego, my self-will is fighting the message from my heart. And then one day I decided I've had enough. I've had enough of doing it my way, and now I'm going to return to the one true loving God who has many names, but is still in essence the Creator God Supreme. And in the distance I look and I see shadows of someone running to me, and I'm running too. I'm running too and getting breathless, and afar off I can see the outline of an old man trying to run towards me. And then I see it is my Father, Mother God. And they are running and running, and suddenly we stop running and we fall into the arms of each other. And as we fall at the feet of our beloved Father, Mother God, the tears are flowing from the years of selfishness, the years of self-adulation, and suddenly we feel a hand under our arm, prizing us up with the strength that could only be of God. And as we look into the face of our Father, Mother God, we do not see condemnation. We do not hear ridicule. We are pressed close to the heart of our God. And the words we do hear, welcome home, my beloved. I knew, I trusted you would come home. I'd like you to just stay with that and feel the love of a compassionate God. A God whose love is endless, priceless, effortless. And you're in the arms of your beloved God, whether you choose to call your God Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Supreme Creator, Being of Love. This is God, the one who formed you in your mother's womb, who is holding you close to the mystical heart of all that is sacred. And something is happening inside you now. You sense a great weight being taken from you. All the worries and sadness, the disappointments, the hurts, the misunderstandings, and others' rejection of you have been taken from you. And now you see the face of your God. And you see the tears in the eyes of the Father, Mother God. And you know they are tears of joy. They are tears because you have come home to love, not fear, to joy, not sadness. And suddenly you are surrounded by a choir of angels who have come to dress you in the robes of righteousness. You are given the cloak of honor, and you are now escorted by the angelic realm to sit at the table of God and to eat the fruit of life. And you are now totally relaxed and at peace. Totally relaxed. And your heart is at peace. Your mind is at peace. And there is love all around you. There is recognition that you are a beautiful child of God. And it doesn't matter what your past was. What matters is your present, this moment, right now. So experience the love. Experience the joy. Experience the gift of friendship. From a loving, compassionate God. Embrace that love and let that love empower you to release, to let go, to be still, to be still. To be still in the presence of God, to be still and know that you are one with God. Be at peace now.
taste of you in love's banquet to fill my heart. And I found your footprints in the sands by the sea, and like your maiden I ran along the way to a secret chamber. And there you gave to me there you taught me oh so well, and I drank of your sweet spiced wine, the wine of God. And there I gave to you keeping nothing for myself. There I promised you forever to be your bride. And I found your footprints in the sands by the sea, and like your maiden I ran along the way to a secret chamber. So I have abandoned all I ever sought to be, and in dying my spirit has been